Welcome back to BluOcean Talks. My name is Ron Efron. Today, my guest is Diya Girish from Milestone Technologies India, or Milestone Systems, I should say, is the formal word, right?
Yes.
And she is the sales head and director for India. Do I have that correct?
Yes, you have it right.
Great. If
Yeah.
you don't mind, before we kind of jump into some of the specifics, at a personal level, how did you get into the security industry? If you don't mind telling us a little bit about your backstory, if you don't mind.
That's actually interesting. I actually didn't plan anything for my career around a particular industry. I'm, of course, a computer science engineering graduate, so technology was a given. I actually spent 25 long years of my career in IT and consulting. But as they say, like all good things happened, this one also happened to me. To be frank, Ron, I'm really enjoying this space. I'll tell you what's fascinating about this industry. In the morning, you could be talking to a commissioner of police about the safety of his city, and the video technology is, of course, the context. And in the evening, you could be talking to a CISO of a retail chain who is trying to understand how the cameras deployed can help him get some ROI out of it. So you see the diversity of it, how the video technology has evolved over years is truly fantastic. So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Well, I'm old enough to remember the transition from analog to digital video and all that drama, in the early 2000s. Yeah. You're absolutely correct. That is fascinating. So you come from the technology side, from the computer science kind of side.
Yeah.
And I absolutely agree with you. It is such a broad topic, and you kind of focused in your little intro there, it focused on the video component, but security is so broad, right? It's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And you have the chance of meeting various people from different industries, from government to end users to multinationals to domestic companies and on and on.
Yeah. So, if I have to say, this is such a space that all the industries are there in this space. I can't think of any industry which is devoid of security requirements, right? So, traditionally we saw a lot of interest coming from airports, defense, government, smart cities, and all of that. But increasingly, we are also seeing interest from sectors like retail, healthcare, hospitality, data centers. So, and why this is happening is very simple, because, video tech or the security industry is no longer just security and surveillance. It's much more than that. It's about how can you derive business benefits out of the technology for the security industry. So very happy to cater to almost all the industries, I would say, at this point in time.
Just for the benefit of those that might not know, maybe tell us briefly what is Milestone Systems. So for my family member out there that's not from the security industry that's listening to this cast.
Yeah, right. So anybody who has heard of Milestone System would probably tell you we are a video management software company, as simple as that. A software which is managing various videos in a building, in a space, in a premise, right? For your family, Ron, you see this huge TV-like structure where you see snippets of so much of videos, which is like video from camera 1, camera 2. That's the traditional, method of viewing what's happening in your premises. We have come a long way, 25 years into understanding video technology. We are now the world leaders of data-driven video technology. Number one in Asia and Europe, for that matter, in the space that we are. We are open platform, and there's a lot to talk about open technology for that matter. But yeah, global organization, truly global organization, 31 locations represented by 70 odd nationalities, supported by 1,500 odd employees. So yeah, that's my company.
Well, Milestone Systems is definitely one of the leading global companies in that field, and a lot of multinationals are using you. From our side, we're an integrator. We definitely love working with you, not only in India, but also in other areas in Asia. So thank you for all that great work. So tell us, though, in the context of India, though, how have things evolved? Because so much is going on there, especially recently. And how are you seeing the market there now? And how would you characterize things?
Well, first of all, I have to admit that video technology, and we spoke about this, right? How video technology, the evolving security industry has been not just in India, but globally, right? Cameras are not just a recording device. It's not just helping us understand what we are seeing and understanding the event, but it's also increasingly being used and for predicting what's going to happen and then acting fast on it. So it's gone beyond security and surveillance, which I keep saying. And when you talk about India, it's synonymous to a couple of things. The scale of the country, the diversity of the country, and the complexity of the use cases that comes with it. And you will have to agree, and that's why India has been a favorite testing bed for so many products, so many platforms, exactly for this reason. And video technology, or for that matter, security industry, is no different. And that's why we are seeing so many upcoming technologies in the various spaces of security industry, whether it's access control, whether it's analytics is a big part of it. We are seeing sprouting companies, niche companies, boutique companies on a specialized area of analytics on surveillance or security industry. So yeah, it's a fantastic time to be in this space and in this era.
I started working in India in the security industry about 2005. And I'm always pleasantly surprised, and I don't know if that's the right word, but I enjoy seeing the trends and seeing how things evolved and changed. If it's everything from simple things like the airports, to the infrastructure, but how companies are managing themselves, how projects are being managed, the various players in the market. So I really enjoy seeing the progress and the various changes that happen over the years there. I'm very proud of it as well. So, but how do you see that? How have things evolved from your point of view? Recently.
I will like to give you an example, Ron. That's the easiest way of telling you what my experience has been around this. So there is a very prominent city police of India who is our customer, been our customer for about 10 years. And recently, I think 5-6 months back, I met with the commissioner, and before that, what we do for them is our software 10 years back from recent now, it was primarily used for surveillance purposes, post-event investigations, etc., the usual ones. Now, when I met the customer a couple of months back, he told me, Diya, this is fantastic, but I want to go beyond this. I want my city to think ahead of the incident itself. It is a very powerful line. It still stays with me. And what we are doing today with them is we are working on a project which is modern city surveillance and alert system for the city. What it does is, in an event, let's say there is an unidentified object somewhere in the city, unattended object, or let's say there is a crowd brewing in a religious event, or unwanted criminal out of the database whose face you recognize in one of the lanes of the city, or a blacklisted license plate vehicle, the system will automatically alert the control system, and there would be somebody who would be attending to this occurrence or the event. Now, the beauty of all this is that nobody is monitoring and going through hours and hours of video for getting you that alert or alerting you. It's all automated. Whenever that event happens, the system alerts you automatically. So that's saving so much of effort and so much of the intelligence is like very helpful to the city. So you see, from a traditional just watching the video and understanding what has happened in the scene, it's gone to preventing crimes. So I think that's where we are going, and this is the evolution of it.
Are we seeing that in more cities in India? Is that a trend that you see across the country?
Yeah, I think up recently there has been so many smart cities. I'm not good with the data, but and Milestone has been a part of so many smart cities across India. Video tech, as we know, is increasingly and has been a very important part to play in these smart cities as well. So, yeah, we are deeply connected with the projects which are coming, and there has been.
It's a deterrence as well. You always have this argument where some people say, "Oh, I don't like surveillance in my city," or this or that. But at the end of the day, in a modern environment, it is kind of needed, and it does help to prevent crime and criminal elements and all that. It does make the city more safe, which is good for society, which is great.
Yeah.
Now, so again, BluOcean, we primarily work with multinationals around India, and that's kind of what we see. However, what would you say is the main driving force behind demand in India? Is it like the foreign investments, or is it also, or mainly government spending, or smart cities, like that example that you just mentioned?
I would say that as the traditional sectors would be government, defense, smart cities, airports. So all these big scaling premises, right, which are generally funded by the government. And we have been doing that. We have been there, we have done that, and we are still evolving in those segments also. But for me personally, I think what's very interesting is also these new sectors which are increasingly becoming very, very curious, and they are trying to get more know-how on how they can bring more ROI to their business with video tech. Retail companies, for example, hospitality, data centers. India especially is becoming a hub for data centers, GCCs, and all of that. So here are the industries where we are seeing increasing amount of traction as well.
Wow, so it's pretty much across the board, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Everything. Do you expect this trend to continue?
Of course, we do see. In fact, as I said, I mean, the conversations will start with security and surveillance, of course. But I was recently in a CXO roundtable in Delhi, done by the Foundry Group, and there was about 18 to 19 CIOs who were sitting there, and everybody had something or the other to say. But they were not security or surveillance necessarily. They were about analytics. There was somebody from a mattress company, and she was saying that how she is using analytics to find defects in the mattresses. So imagine the use cases of video technology nowadays. It's no longer just monitoring stuff.
Right. It has industrial as actual other applications that provide value to an organization.
Yeah.
That's great. You mentioned this earlier, though, about the open platform element of a video. Explain maybe a little bit why that's so important and the uniqueness of Milestone from that perspective and the benefits it gives to clients when they're thinking about this.
So, Ron, I'm so glad you asked me that question, because the company that I work for is, I can say, pioneers of open technology. 25 years back, it was not even a thing, right? But when we came up with our flagship product, X Protect, back then, we knew back then that the future of video technology, or for that matter, any technology, cannot be just one product, one solution, one company, right? It has to be solutions co-created within the ecosystem so that the customers get the best of the technology that there is. And that's why open technology. We have believed in it and championed it over 25 years. And why it gives us an advantage is something that I would like to explain. Often when I meet executives of these organizations, they have particularly two concerns. If they are going to invest in a technology, is it futuristic enough that it is going to be useful even after 5-10 years? The second concern is, what about the investments that they are already done? There are fully functional cameras, there are legacy systems which are functional. Are they going to go waste just because there is a new thing in the block? I feel very comfortable assuring them, because we have been in this journey of open platforms for 20-25 years, it's easier for me to say, bring on any camera which is 10, 15, 20 years, any legacy systems, any technology which is there with you, which is functional. At the same time, the philosophy of the company is an open technology platform, which means that whenever there is a new technology which is going to come, the company is going to put all the effort and resources to make sure that that's integrated to our platform. So that's, I think, that's where you talk value with the person sitting on the other side of the table. And so that's what open technology does.
I fully agree, by the way. Is it really, if I summarize, it gives what you would say full ownership and flexibility to the end user.
Yeah.
To change and adapt and do things in ways that are right for them. So
yep.
they can change different cameras or use existing cameras or tweak based on what they need. So it gives them more flexibility and true ownership, and as opposed to being locked into something or other.
Exactly. The vendor lock-in is gone, which is no longer appreciated. People are choosing open platform over proprietary platforms and products, which gives them the flexibility of choosing anything and everything according to their organization, their needs, and all they need is a platform which is ready to accommodate, integrate, and evolve.
Right. No, that's great. I fully agree with you on that. As an integrator, it's very important.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we want to provide a solution to the end user that's right for them, that provides the value that they're seeking, and that they can use it for many years. That life cycle of the product and the system is long enough to make it worthwhile. That's great. Obviously, I have to ask about this. What about AI? So what does AI mean to you, to Milestone, and what can you say about that?
Well, let me start with saying that with so much of hype around this, it's a word in every room, every conversation, right? But often I see companies misunderstand that more AI they deploy, more ROI will happen. But that's not the case. The ROI will happen only when you solve the right business problem for yourself, right? Having said that, we do believe that AI is an important element in any technology that is being there, or any company who is into the technology your non-technology also is making use of AI, and so are we as Milestone. I would love to talk about two fantastic innovations around AI that we have done. And these are personally fascinating for me. Ron, in today's world where technology has become so powerful, and as you know, the geopolitics is going somewhere, it's important that you manage the privacy of your videos to a certain level. And that is why we have integrated Brighter AI's anonymization feature to all our product lines. Now, what is this? This redacts the important elements of your video, for example, your license plate, your face, your body type, and which relates to the privacy of a person, of course. It will distort it a little bit, like a distorted image of you will look like a twin brother of yours, right? It will be almost similar, but it's not a traditional blur. The DNAT technology will slightly distorted so that the essence of the video still remains while you're reviewing it and doing all that you have to do with the video, but the privacy is managed. So that's one. The other one is summarization, which is becoming increasingly popular across all the requirements that we see. So we have built our summarization feature on VLM technology, vision language model, which was built on NVIDIA technology and is powered by Project Hafnia's real world video data library. By the way, it's also the world's largest traceable and compliant video data library. Now, what it does is, as the name suggests, you throw it at a video, a text prompt, and it will immediately summarize the incident for you. So you see, I think these things are a sprinkle of excitement for the users. It's making their lives easier. It's making understanding the situation a lot more easier with these technologies. So yeah,
and bringing more value to the customer too.
Yeah.
That's great. And people don't realize this sometimes, like non-security people, that video analytics is a early version of AI in many ways.
Yes. Often it's somewhere in between, somewhere on the borderline as well. I would just like to say that there are certain applications which analytic applications which are doing so good in the market. The applications like license plate recognition, perimeter protection, intruder detection, occupancy optimizer. There are so many of these applications in the market which are analytics, and some of them also have AI embedded in it, but they are just making the life so much simpler.
Right. No, that's great. And what do you see in your crystal ball? Like, what do you think things will look like in 5 years from now?
Yeah. I think, 4 or 5 things, especially from the video technology perspective. I think AI foremost, prediction rather than the detection. Cloud and hybrid would be the way forward. Cyber security will become more prominent. Open platforms rather than proprietary technologies. And most importantly, which we have spoken probably 3 or 4 times already, that open and integrated platforms would come into the play. Video will no longer be just security and surveillance. It would be used for deriving business benefits as well. It's now also it's happening.
That's great. You mentioned cloud and hybrid. And why do you think hybrid?
Well, I think it's not an either or question anymore, right? We have seen that there are industries which are high on regulations and compliance, data sovereignty, and all of this, and they have to go on premise. And then there are companies which are cloud first, so that's the given for them. What we are seeing as a trend is the hybrid, which is becoming a sweet spot. And if I have to explain this in layman's language, imagine your banker, right? Your HDFC Bank or your Deutsche Bank or any of your banker, right? You still have to go to your locker. You trust your locker for keeping your valuable jewelry, important documents. But then for your day-to-day transactions, you are having your UPI. So you're using the best of both worlds, believing in both of them. So I think that's the easiest to make ourselves understand that both of these deployments exist and for a good reason.
Yeah, you bring up a good point there, and that is interesting to see how that evolves. What would you recommend for, let's say, multinationals that are coming to India? They're building a new factory or facility, and they're thinking about their security, or primarily from a video point of view. You can focus on that. Any recommendations for them to consider, or you want to highlight?
I'll just leave them with a thought that don't ask the question, how many cameras or what cameras. You have to ask yourself, what business problem I have to solve. To that effect, certain suggestions would be search for partners and not just vendors, like BluOceans. Right. Second, openness instead of vendor locking. That will be futuristic for yourself. And of course, nowadays, choose platforms and not just products and solutions. And most importantly, a good video technology is not necessarily something which has a lot of features. It is something which is futuristic. Today, it's AI. 10 years back, it was cloud. You don't know what's coming up in next 2 years. So the best thing that you can do for yourself is invest in a technology which is open, ready to evolve, and can accommodate future technologies to come. So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Great advice. I would add on to that only, give yourself some time. Don't expect something to happen from today to tomorrow.
Yeah.
Good planning also helps. But
yes.
That's great advice. One last question. Would you advise younger folks to come into the security industry?
Absolutely. I think it's a very humble job, I would say. For 25 long years, I've been into a space which was satisfying, but I used to do applications, ERP applications, and that's giving great benefits to the CXOs. But here, you feel the satisfaction of contributing to public safety in some way or form. That some people are safe, some people are feeling monitored. Somebody is looking over them just because your technology is deployed somewhere. So that's very satisfying, and I think that's one part of it that is one takeaway for me. For young generation, I would say that this is a wonderful space to be in. I have seen so many entrepreneurs come up in this space. They are doing their stuff. They are, becoming integrators. They are coming up with new analytic products for this space because the demand is ever growing. So it's a nice space to be in.
I would add on to that it's also somewhat recession proof. Like even when the economy is down, the security is still relevant.
Yeah. Exactly. The evergreen space. Yes.
Right. Well, I appreciate your time. I know you're busy. Again, this is very helpful and a good perspective on how things are in India and with Milestone. I look forward to continue working with you and your company, obviously from BluOcean's perspective. Yes. But at the same time, I hope to maybe catch up again and maybe see how things have evolved and what new technologies you're working on.
Absolutely, Ron. It was pleasure talking to you today. And as I said, BluOcean remains a very valuable partner for us. Today in my sheet, I was seeing 2, 3 of them popping up, and I was saying, hey, I've got an interview with them. So lovely talking to you.
India is so important to us. We have such a great team there. We really lucked out with the people we have there, and it's been very fun. I don't visit enough, but I will be there. Actually, I'll be in Bangalore the first couple of days of September. So if there's a chance to have a drink, maybe we could do that.
Lovely.
And then I'll be on the Mumbai for a couple of days. But yeah, it's always fun, and I really enjoy it.
Thank you, Ron.
So anybody's listening, if you want to get in touch with Diya or with Milestone Systems, we will add obviously information in the show notes. Once again, thank you for your time. Wishing you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you.